Hello everyone. For our next art lesson, I thought we would do something kind of like we did with the 3D buildings in the last project, but a little bit different angle. So we're still going to do some buildings in 3D. I've shown you one where it looks like the worm's eye view, like we're looking up at the buildings from the ground. This one here, it looks like we're going to be walking down the street, kind of looking at the front of the buildings, and we're going to make the buildings look 3D, so they're more like a cube or a box. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you a quick sample. I have a quick example of one that I didn't color yet, but it shows you how to draw it in some steps. So let me pull that up really quick. I believe it's right here. Okay, there we go. So this here is an example of what we're going to try. So I started off with a line going across. That would be for my road. Then I drew 4 buildings, just different sizes. Okay, I drew these lines angling this direction from the top of the buildings on the corners. And then I connected with the back side of the building, the rooftop, and that makes them look 3D, like cubes. Then when I was done, I added some doors and windows and details. This one has a little awning. I added a sidewalk and a road, some clouds in the sky, a little tree here. You can make the stores whatever you want. So there's an example, and let me go ahead and show you how I drew that. So let's go back so you can see how that was done. So what I did was I started off with a ruler. A ruler does help for some of this. And I drew myself a line so I knew where the buildings would start. So I'm going to say, oh, right about here would be a good spot for that. So that'll be my line across that shows me where my sidewalk or road would be. So I'll start with that. Okay, there's a line all the way across. Then I drew some shapes for buildings. Okay, so I would use a ruler, but I'm going to draw this lightly with pencil, and then you can see what I'm doing. You can always use a ruler for this part. So there is the top or the side, the top, and the other side of a building. Okay, now the next building. Maybe the next one's a little taller. So I'm going to go up a little higher and then over and down. So they're actually connecting. Okay, then maybe the next one's a little lower and a little wider. And then maybe I add one more here. That'll be my last building. Usually I get about 4 in here before I run out of room. Okay, now once I have those buildings sketched in, they're just rectangles right now. I want them to look 3-dimensional, kind of like a cube. So to do that, I need to draw a line from this corner. It's going to aim that way. I'm going to imagine there's a vanishing point out here, kind of like we talked about with our other 3D buildings. I'm just going to imagine it's this way, and I'm going to draw a line that goes that way. Not too long, okay, about this far. And then I'm going to draw another one from here on this corner of the building that goes that way. See how they're kind of going the same direction? This one's going to go about the same direction. I need one in this little corner here that goes that way. Then I'll need one from here that goes this way, and one from here that goes that way. Now, some of you might be able to see how we connect these, but if you don't, I'll show you anyways. So to connect these lines and make the rooftop, I need this line here to have a line that's parallel. That means it's going the same way right there. So there's the rooftop. I'm going to do the same with this one, from here to here. Then I need to draw this one going down to that one. This one's going to go across to there. This is going to go across to here. And then this one just goes straight back down to the ground. Okay, now I have some 3D buildings. Now for some details, I might add a sidewalk next. So I'm going to draw an extra line here. I'll say right about here. Go across. Now, because these lines go this way, I'm going to make my sidewalk lines go that way. So the lines on my sidewalk are also going to aim that direction, just like I did on the rooftop. That way they're all going the same way. Okay, sidewalk. Now the curb. I need another line right about here to show where the edge of the curb is on that sidewalk. And then this area down here is like a street or a road. Okay, I could draw a car too on here if I want. I could just draw my little stripes on my road. So I could draw some of those on my road. Okay. And draw those all the way across. Like I said, if I want to add a car or two on the road, I could. This little space, since I left a little extra room on purpose, I like to draw something over here, so I just drew a tree on mine. But I also could use a line that shows where the back of this would be, like maybe a horizon line. So maybe I draw a line about here. Okay. Sidewalk, street, this area is just grass. And then my tree, maybe my tree's like right here. Okay. And that's a building, so the tree's going to be, this tree is as tall as that building, so it actually looks pretty big like a tree. So there's a tree there. Okay. Now details on my buildings. I could easily add things like doors. So a little rectangle, I can draw a couple lines for my door. This one has 3 doors on it. Maybe there's a sign above the door. I can sketch that in. I can name this building whatever I want. Okay, this one here, maybe it has a double door, so there's just 2. All right, maybe this one has a wider door, and there's 4. I drew a little awning above one, which is kind of like a little umbrella above one of my doors. I could do that. Some storefronts and buildings have that. Okay, and on that I just drew a line in the middle, and then a couple this way. Okay, another door. Maybe this one, the door is like that. Some windows on my buildings. Maybe I'll draw 1, see how many I can get across. 2, 3. 3 is what I can fit, and then I'll just keep going up. And I'll keep drawing windows until I can't add any more. I'll just work my way up so this whole building has windows on it. Okay, now if I want windows over here, they get a little different. See how these lines angle this way? Well, this is what I would do. The side of the window, the bottom goes that way, the top goes that way, and then the side. Side, the bottom goes up just like this, the top goes up just like that, and then the side. So because it's on the side of the building, my windows have to be a little bit different. You can try that. It's a little tricky, but it looks pretty cool if you get them right. So I keep going and get all these windows on here. Maybe I can add some windows to this building. And just keep going until I have enough detail and my buildings look complete. Okay, and I would just continue with my buildings, working my way up with these windows. Okay, like I said, and you can at any time, maybe this one has a big sign up top for whatever this building is. And I can name them whatever I want. So I could have a pet store, a toy store, kind of like we did with our last project. You can decide what's going to be in these buildings and what you want them to look like in the end. So there you go. There's our main outline. You can continue from there, add your details when you're all done. I would add a little bit of color, like maybe I could color these yellow. I could color this, maybe that's red. Maybe I put some color in my windows. If there were lights on, I might color them yellow inside. Okay, I could color my grass green, my tree in, maybe color the sky. Maybe I add a few clouds in the sky before I color. Okay, so there's a few clouds in the sky, but it's ready to go. I have most of it done, just need to add a few more details and I can start coloring. So I look forward to seeing your city.